Poachers use old school phone to shock fish. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Anglers used an old school phone to electrocute fish and get fined. Now I need to say thanks to Wired to Fish and a bunch of other people that allowed me to find this story and then do some research on it. And let's be upfront and honest right off the bat. This is a weird one, a really weird one. Now the younger people that are new to fishing and have used iPhones and stuff like that probably have never seen an old school phone. But back in the day, they used those phones with a crank to call, to send a signal so that the phone could be used through someone who would connect the wires from one to another. Something very old school, and even before my time. But the story goes, allegedly, a Georgia man was using an antique crank phone to electrocute fish illegally. Now, two game wardens saw a man and a woman looking suspicious down by a creek. When they approached him, this man had a wooden box in his hands, and as they got closer, the man threw that wooden box into the water. Luckily, one of the game wardens was able to see him throw it in and also collect it. Now, the officers identified it as an outlawed fishing technique and a crank phone to use to shock fish. Now, not only is it illegal to do that, but this man and this woman also did not have fishing licenses, because why would they have fishing license if they're going to poach? But both were very lucky that the game wardens allowed them to contact or get into compliance and immediately purchase fishing licenses online. The male was charged with shocking fish and his telephone was confiscated. Electricity is known to temporarily stun fish, causing them to float to the surface. And it should be known, and I want to read this, that this phone technique became more widespread in the 1970s. They did it a lot then. But it is harmful in freshwater ecosystems as it indiscriminately stuns all aquatic life within range, including juvenile and endangered species. Now, the crank phone is outdated and outlawed. It is an illegal device that is used to harm and has caused a lot of problems in many freshwater ecosystems. Now, when I read this article, I actually had to think, is this real? Now, I knew that it would actually put enough shock out that it would stun the fish to cause them to roll over and go belly up. And going fishing like this, it isn't fishing. It really isn't. You're going out there to just fill your cooler with as many fish as you can. And as a conservationist, I really dislike this. Now, I don't know how much they'll be fined. I don't know if they'll get in trouble. I do appreciate that the game wardens gave them an opportunity to get their fishing licenses right then, because they would have had another fine. But I do think they should have had a fine for not having their fishing license. Don't give them the opportunity to continue to do things that are illegal. I'm not saying they're going to do things illegally down the road, but you don't have your fishing licenses and you're using this shocking system to catch fish. And our waters are already overfished. And we already have so many problems with vegetation or the water quality that when you have someone like this man and female that are doing this, I really don't want to say throw the book at them. But I think there should be something said or done to make sure that they just can't fish anymore. And they were going to poach either way you look at it. But for me, this is just one of those weird, shocking stories that I got up on a Monday. I'm actually watching the BEPT Team Challenge right there, and then doing my research on other stuff that this came up. And I thought this was something that was newsworthy for our community. Now, what do you think? Do you think they got off easy? Do you think they should have been allowed to get their fishing licenses and not get a fine for not having their licenses? Do you think this one's weird and confusing like me? Hopefully you do, but if you don't, comment below and tell me what you think. Comment it any way you look at it, because I really appreciate the comments. The comments get me through some weird times and I appreciate it. I appreciate all the people looking in on me. I need to make sure that I say thank you to Carrie, that I also say thank you to Andrew. You guys are amazing, and I can't say thank you enough for everything. But if you're not a subscriber, you should be. It's quick, easy, and it's free. All you gotta do is click that button. Also click that bell so you know when the next video drops. Remember, take a kid fishing, Thank you, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on. Poachers use old school... Can't even speak this morning. Poachers use old school phone